I bet you didn't know just how fast a titan like BMW could fall. Before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on BMW's shocking decline and what it means for the future of business. Here's a terrifying fact for German auto execs. In 2024, BMW's net profit plunged by 34%. That's not just a number, it's a seismic shock for one of the world's most respected car makers, a brand that's long been synonymous with luxury, precision, and German engineering excellence. That's not a dip, it's a freefall. A 12.2 billion euros hole in the balance sheet. For a company of BMW's stature, this kind of loss is almost unthinkable, sending ripples of anxiety through boardrooms and investors worldwide. This isn't just a bad quarter, it's a blaring red warning light for a global giant. The alarm bells are ringing and the world is watching to see how BMW responds to this crisis. Revenues stayed flat, but profits evaporated. The numbers tell a story of stagnation at the top, while costs and challenges quietly eroded the bottom line. Imagine running a marathon, only to hand over a third of your prize at the finish line. All that effort, all that prestige, suddenly diminished by a single, brutal result. This is how a brand built on luxury and German engineering skidded into crisis. Even the most iconic names can find themselves in trouble if they ignore the warning signs. It's a cautionary tale for any business leader who thinks they're too big to fail. No one is immune, not even the titans of industry. The mistakes BMW made aren't unique to cars, they're universal business pitfalls. Complacency, misreading the market, and slow adaptation can hit any company, in any industry. The real question: how do you avoid BMW's fate? What lessons can you take from their missteps to protect your own business? This story is about complacency, underestimating competition, and the high cost of slow pivots in a fast-changing world. In today's market, speed and awareness are everything. It's a wake-up call, delivered with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. If you're not paying attention, you could be next. Buckle up. We're about to dissect how an icon drove itself into a ditch, and what you can do to steer clear of the same fate. Pay attention to the warning signs. They might be flashing in your own business, even if you haven't noticed them yet. Want to avoid these mistakes? Understand every single one, and learn how to spot them before it's too late. BMW was once the benchmark for quality and prestige, a status symbol, an experience, the ultimate driving machine. For generations, owning a BMW meant you had arrived, that you were part of an exclusive club defined by performance and luxury. For decades, profits rolled in. The company's reputation seemed untouchable, and its cars were the envy of the industry. But brand loyalty is fragile, and past success means nothing now. Customers who once swore by BMW are now looking elsewhere, tempted by fresher options and better value. The fall from grace can be shockingly fast. One moment you're leading the pack, the next you're struggling to keep pace. BMW's troubles show that the market only cares about what you're doing right now. Yesterday's achievements are quickly forgotten in the face of today's challenges. If you're outmaneuvered and overpriced, the market punishes you, fast. Competitors are quick to seize any opportunity, leaving no room for error. The illusion of invincibility breeds complacency, and in today's world there's no room for slow movers. Innovation waits for no one, and hesitation can be fatal. New, agile competitors are building better products for less, leaving giants like BMW looking lost. The landscape is shifting, and the old rules no longer apply. BMW's story is about how quickly greatness can become vulnerability. Even the most celebrated brands can find themselves on shaky ground. Internal missteps and external pressures can bring any behemoth to its knees. No company is immune to the forces of change and disruption. While BMW admired its reflection, the road ahead changed, and they struggled to keep up. The world moved forward, but BMW hesitated. The signs were there, but recognizing and reacting in time are two very different things. Sometimes, warnings are ignored until it's too late to turn things around. The slip from leader to crisis can happen in a blink. In the race for relevance, even the mighty can fall, faster than anyone ever expects. Let's talk numbers. That 34% profit plunge? Just the start. BMW's automotive EBIT margin dropped from 10.6% to 8.5% in a year, with forecasts even lower. They're working just as hard, but earning far less. Shareholders felt the pain too. Dividends slashed from €8.50 to €6 per share. In business, that's a massive vote of no confidence. Rising costs and price pressure mean selling more cars doesn't guarantee more profit. Revenue stayed flat at 155.5 billion euros, but profit vanished. It's a CEO's nightmare, running faster on a burning hamster wheel. Profits down, margins squeezed, payouts cut, each a symptom of deeper issues. This isn't a blip, it's systemic. The engine is sputtering, misfiring, and burning oil. The ultimate driving machine became a cash-burning machine. Leadership was scrambling for the fire extinguisher. The question, is it already too late? Ready? Here's where things get messy. Even basic sales numbers were contradictory. Some reports said BMW sold more cars, others said fewer. But one thing was clear. China, BMW's golden goose, turned hostile. Sales in China plummeted 13% to 715,000 cars, a devastating blow. Chinese brands like BYD and NIO offered high-tech, affordable EVs, making BMW look dated and overpriced. The Chinese consumer shifted to homegrown brands while the economy slowed. BMW was squeezed by fierce competition and weaker demand. Their reliance on China became a massive vulnerability. When China sputtered, the whole company shook. The confusing global sales figures masked the real crisis, losing their most important market. It's a lesson in the dangers of putting all your eggs in one basket. When that basket drops, the mess is global. Market forces are tough, but BMW also shot itself in the foot. The company, long celebrated for its engineering prowess and attention to detail, found itself grappling with a series of avoidable missteps that shook its foundation. A major delivery suspension due to brake system issues in 2024 was a direct hit to their brand. This wasn't just a minor recall, it was a full stop, halting the flow of new cars to eager customers and sending shockwaves through dealerships worldwide. The ultimate driving machine had to stop delivering cars because of a brake problem. Ironic and damaging. For a brand built on performance and safety, this was a public relations nightmare that called their core promise into question. This blunder created delays, frustrated customers, and handed competitors an opening. Some buyers simply walked away, choosing rival brands that could deliver on time and without drama. The chaos didn't stop there. Internally, employees scrambled to manage the fallout, with stress levels rising as the company tried to regain control. Mini sales fell sharply, by either 5% or a catastrophic 17%, depending on the report. The uncertainty itself was damaging, making it hard for investors and analysts to trust the numbers. If you're finding this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring you more deep dives like this one. Even Rolls-Royce, the crown jewel, saw sales dip. For a brand that trades on exclusivity and perfection, any decline is a red flag. When ultra-luxury buyers walk away, you know you're in trouble. These are customers who expect nothing less than flawless service and product. These failures show a company struggling with fundamentals, supply chain, quality control, and sub-brand health. The problems weren't isolated, they were systemic, affecting every corner of the business. It's not just about grand strategy, it's about getting the basics right. When the basics slip, even the best strategy can't save you. When you fail here, it signals deep-seated problems. It's a warning sign that something fundamental is broken within the organization. The machine wasn't just outdriven, it was breaking down from within. The cracks in the system were now visible to everyone, from customers to competitors. Operational excellence slipped and the cracks spread everywhere. What was once a symbol of reliability now looked vulnerable. BMW's legendary reputation was suddenly in question. The world was watching and the pressure to recover was immense. The cost? Lost sales, lost trust, and a brand in crisis. For BMW, the road to recovery would demand more than just innovation. It would require a return to the basics that once made them great. Why did profits collapse? It was a perfect storm. Inflation drove up costs for materials, energy, and logistics. Every expense line was flashing red. BMW poured billions into R&D for electrification and digitalization, spending big today for uncertain future payoffs. Meanwhile, new competitors undercut prices, forcing BMW to offer discounts and incentives. Unsold cars piled up and used car values dropped, bad news for their leasing business. Each challenge alone would be tough. Together, they created a corporate nightmare. It was a multi-front war, costs, competition, and shifting industry economics. This wasn't a bump in the road, it was a full-blown crisis. The stable, profitable business model was suddenly obsolete. The ground shifted, and BMW was caught off guard. The lesson: even giants can be plunged into chaos overnight. Adapt or get swept away. Amid the chaos, one bright spot: electric vehicles. In 2024, BMW's BEV sales surged 74% to over 376,000 units, nearly 15% of all sales. BMW doubled down, aiming for 20% BEV sales by 2025 and at least 500,000 electric cars. The strategy pivot: hard to an electric future. But the EV market is suddenly volatile. In the US, EV registrations fell for the first time in a year. Even Tesla saw a 16% drop. Early adopters are tapped out. Mainstream buyers are harder to convince. BMW is betting big just as the market wobbles. Production is also at risk. Battery supply issues threaten US EV plans. The EV supply chain is fragile. No batteries, no cars. BMW's EV push is bold, but risky. They're betting the farm on a market that's cooling and a supply chain that's shaky. It's a gamble that could save, or sink, the company. BMW's woes aren't unique. The entire German luxury auto industry is in crisis. Audi deliveries fell 12%, Porsche 3%, Mercedes-Benz 3%. This isn't a BMW problem, it's a made-in-Germany problem. The business model that made these brands dominant is under threat. All were slow to embrace electrification, letting Tesla and Chinese brands surge ahead. Over-reliance on China and high domestic costs are hurting everyone. The German formula of engineering and prestige is no longer enough. BMW's decline is part of a larger, industry-wide shift. The auto giants are now vulnerable incumbents, scrambling to adapt. Strategic moves are being made, but they're on the defensive. The battle for the soul of German autos is just beginning. We've seen BMW's profit plunge, strategic blunders, operational failures, and risky bets. The lesson: no one is safe. No brand is too iconic to fail. Complacency is fatal. BMW's story is a checklist of what not to do. Don't rely on one market, don't underestimate new rivals, don't let standards slip, and don't ignore tech shifts. Never believe your own hype, the market will humble you. This is your call to action. Ask the hard questions about your own business. Are you too dependent on one customer, ready for disruption, listening to your market, operationally excellent? BMW's decline is a free, painful lesson in survival. You can dismiss it as just another bad year for a car company, or see it as a final warning. The rules have changed permanently. Learn from BMW's mistakes, adapt and build resilience. Ignore the warning signs and risk repeating them. The choice is yours: learn or burn. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback helps us grow and bring you more insightful content.